The Light Between the Pines. Chapter 1, The First Glance. Elena never believed in fate, not until she met Julian. She had just moved into the quiet coastal town of Haven Ridge, a place where the waves whispered secrets to the shore and the pine trees swayed with stories untold. After leaving the city behind, she sought solitude, peace, and perhaps a place to heal a heart that had been bruised by time. Julian was a local, an artist who lived in a weathered cabin near the edge of the forest, where the pine trees met the sea. His paintings, rich with emotion and color, were admired by many but understood by few. He was known in Haven Ridge as the quiet soul who walked barefoot on the beach at sunrise and spoke more through brushstrokes than words. They met at the town's bookshop one rainy afternoon. Elena was browsing the poetry section when Julian walked in, drenched from the rain, with a sketchbook under his arm and salt still clinging to his hair. Their eyes met. It wasn't dramatic. No violins played. No lightning struck. Just a quiet moment that felt like a memory. Chapter 2, A Gentle Friendship. Over the weeks, they kept crossing paths, in the cafe where Elena worked part-time, in the forest trails she wandered to clear her thoughts, in the farmer's market where Julian often bartered his paintings for bread or books. They started talking. About nothing. About everything. She told him about her love for old books and morning fog. He shared his passion for painting the ocean, how he believed every wave had its own story. Their conversations became a rhythm, like the tides. Julian started sketching her without telling her. Her silhouette against the sea. Her smile as she read a poem. Her eyes when she wasn't watching. Elena found herself opening up, about a past relationship that had left scars, about dreams she was too afraid to chase. He listened. Not just with ears, but with presence. Chapter 3, A Thousand Little Things. Love came quietly. It wasn't spoken. It was shown. In the way Julian left wildflowers on her windowsill. In the way Elena brought him warm coffee during cold, early mornings. In shared silences that felt fuller than words. On the night of the first snowfall, they walked together under the pines, their hands brushing lightly. Julian stopped, turned to her, and for the first time, he wasn't silent. I think I've been painting you long before I met you. Elena smiled, tears catching the snow. And I think I've been waiting for you long before I knew your name. That night, beneath the pines dusted with snow, they kissed, a kiss that tasted like healing and hope. Chapter 4, The Light Between the Pines. Time passed. They were not perfect. There were days filled with silence, with misunderstandings. But love remained, a constant, glowing softly like a lantern between trees. Julian painted his greatest work that spring, a portrait of Elena, not just as she looked, but as he saw her, full of light, strength, and gentle resilience. The painting was called The Light Between the Pines. Elena, in return, wrote her first poem in years. It ended with the line, "Some hearts break quietly. Others grow roots in the broken places. And bloom." Epilogue, forever isn't always loud. Years later, they were still in Haven Ridge. Still walking on the beach. Still listening to the wind in the trees. Sometimes, the townspeople would ask them how they met. Julian would say, "It started with a glance." Elena would smile and add, "And it never ended." Waves of You. The sea was calm that morning, the horizon tinted with the softest hues of pink and gold. Elena stood barefoot on the damp sand, the hem of her white dress brushing her ankles as waves curled gently around her feet. It had been 10 years since she last walked this beach, the same beach where she and Nathan had once written their dreams in the sand, believing they would last forever. Elena was only 18 when she met Nathan. the boy with sun-kissed hair and a heart full of wanderlust. He was visiting the small coastal town of Avonport for the summer, and she was the girl who had never left it. They met when she found him sketching the lighthouse near the cliff, his notebook filled with drawings of places he dreamed to see. "You're not from here," she had said, smiling curiously. "And you must be," he'd replied with a grin, shading the roof of the lighthouse with careful strokes. "You look like you belong to this place." They spent that summer beneath the sun and stars. Talking, laughing, sometimes just sitting in silence. Nathan taught her to dream beyond the shoreline, she showed him the beauty of staying still. They made promises, naive, hopeful promises. But summer has a way of ending too quickly. When Nathan left, he held her tightly and whispered, "Give me time. I'll come back. I'll find a way to build a life here, with you." But time changed things. Letters turned into emails, then slowly faded into silence. Elena waited. Months became years. Nathan chased his art across Europe and Asia. Elena stayed, taking over her mother's flower shop, always saving one bouquet by the window, just in case. And now, 10 years later, she was back on the beach where it all began. She didn't know why she returned. Maybe it was nostalgia. Maybe closure. The wind shifted. A voice called her name. Elena. She turned, and for a moment, the years fell away. Nathan stood there, older, more weathered, his eyes still carrying that same fire she once loved. "You came back," she whispered. "I never stopped trying to," he said, stepping closer. "I wrote, but the letters came back. I came to Avonport 3 times, but you weren't here. I didn't know you had moved." Elena blinked back tears. "I thought you forgot me." "Never." His voice cracked. "I carried you through every city, every painting, every night I couldn't sleep." He reached into his bag and pulled out a sketchbook, pages filled with her face, the lighthouse, the ocean, her laughter frozen in graphite. Elena touched the drawings gently, tears finally falling. "I never stopped waiting for you." "I'm here now," Nathan said. "And this time I'm not going anywhere." They stood there in the rising tide, the past rushing between them like waves. And as the sun rose higher, the future began, quietly, but surely, just like the sea